Order. Honorable Ken Ohene Agyapong, during which the first deputy speaker will take the chair. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to contribute to the motion on the floor with regards to the President's State of the Nation address. Mr. Speaker, I listened carefully to my friend, and I'm surprised all the good things mentioned in the State of the Nation address, he limited himself only to rice. Mr. Speaker, in 2016, Mr. Speaker, our GDP growth was 3.4. Read your State of the Nation address first. Read it.
Honorable, you will address me.
And in 2017, our growth increased to 8.1%. Also in your State of the Nation address. And in 2018, Mr. Speaker, the first 3 quarters of 2018, the predicted annual growth rate was even 5.6%. But the first 3 quarters was 6% growth. Mr. Speaker, we cannot joke with this. Even today, this morning on CNN, the last quarter of 2018 of American economy was between 1.8 to 2.5. So if you have 6% growth, then you have done extremely well. Therefore, it is not surprising to hear that the late night show on NDC, radio, television in America, a presenter said the American economy is the fastest growing economy. And one of the panelists retorted and said that no, Ghana and Nigeria are the fastest growing economy. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, you will not allow me to play this. No, it's here. No. NTV. No, it's here. You want me to show? Okay. Again, Mr. Speaker, the fiscal deficit. The fiscal deficit has been reduced from 7.3 to almost half, which is 3.9. Interest rate. In 2017, I want my colleagues to listen. In 2016, the interest rate was hovering around 36%. You're talking of source. These are legitimate facts that you can't run away with. Yeah, in 2016. And as I speak today, Mr. Speaker, the interest rate is between 22 and 26%, depending on your credit. What it means to the entrepreneur or the businessman is that the savings of 10% or 14% becomes an income to him where he can use that to expand his business and create employment. Allow me. Mr. Speaker, it will interest you also to know that even in most advanced countries, their education, they don't even finance it from kindergarten to high school. Some rich advanced countries are doing it, but not all advanced countries. But a poor country like Ghana, if free education starts from kindergarten to high school, I think it's something that we have to applaud the president and MPP government. We need to check the facts and see if I'm speaking of issues and they are true or not. These are facts that we have to check. That source will come from BA. It is. Again, Mr. Speaker, we have to commend the president for taking bold initiative to consolidate some of the failing banks. And it is one great achievement that we are all ignoring. Because if not, if we have not consolidated some of these banks, what is happening in Venezuela would have happened to Ghana. Yes, in Venezuela, because most of these banks that were consolidated had no money in their reserves. And I'll borrow the words from former President Mahama saying, that was the situation. Meaning there's no flesh or meat on the bone. We left with only bone, no flesh. But through MPP government with the leadership of President Akufo-Addo, he has cushioned these banks by giving almost 12.7 billion. And what we should not ignore and applaud him is that you have about 1,237,000 or 1.2 million depositors who could have lost their money or even their businesses. Today, as I speak, none of these depositors are complaining. Yes, I said, none of these depositors. We are not talking of men's gold. We are talking of banks. No, we are not talking of. No, men's gold is not a bank. Men's gold is not a bank. We have to be clear on that. Men's gold is not a bank. We are talking of the banks like Royal Bank, Unibank. The depositors can go to the bank and cash their money. Yeah. Have you lost your money in the bank? So, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member, please hold on. Yes, honorable member for West Central.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable friend, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong said none of the depositors in those banks are complaining. He's my very good friend, a very astute businessman. And when he speaks, I admire him when he speaks, and most of the time I agree with him. And I agreed with him when he complained that he is suffering because the interest rates and the dollar is fluctuating and things are.
I don't know, but you're out of order. I don't know, continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My good friend, I know it's not his style, so he wanted to say something. Indeed, I complained about depreciation of the cedi. Yes, I did, but I have not, or it is not in the state of the nation. And I'm addressing it here. Mr. Speaker, another achievement of the president is weaning us off from IMF. Anytime a government mismanages its financial or the economy, then they resort to IMF for prudent management of their resources or economy. Today, in 2 years, we're winning ourselves off IMF. We were slaves, and now we are independent. Yes, because IMF was dictating to us which amount should be given to this ministry. No, we are out. And April, we are signing the final.
Honorable Agyapong, kindly withdraw. We are slaves. Ghana were not slaves. Kindly withdraw that and let the record expunge that from the record.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was just comparing. So I withdraw. What I mean is that we have been. If you go under IMF, they dictate to you. They put pressure on you. But without IMF, we are free to take our own destiny and manage our resources. So if